Good evening, everyone. Let the record show that all members of the City Council are present with the exception of Councilman Cadlin. There is a copy of the Open Meetings Act posted on the west wall of the meeting room and is accessible to the public at any time during the course of this meeting. First item is a proclamation. Pleased to make a proclamation regarding a tournament, a basketball tournament that is an age-old tournament that affects southeast Nebraska, and they utilize Beatrice as their home base. And the proclamation reads as follows. Whereas the Mudecas Association was organized in 1926, and whereas the name Mudecas stands for music, declamation, and athletics, and whereas Mudecas Basketball Tournament is the oldest tournament still being staged in the state of Nebraska today. And whereas 32 boys and girls basketball teams from 16 area high schools, including Bruning Davenport, Diller Odell, Exeter Milligan, Falls City Sacred Heart, Freeman, Humboldt Table Rock, Steinauer, Johnson Brock, Johnson County Central, Lewiston, Meridian, Palmyra, Parkview Christian, Pawnee City, Sterling, Tri-County, and Wymore Southern will participate this year. And whereas Beatrice has been the site of the girls' Mudecas tournament for 32 years, and whereas the Beatrice City Auditorium has been the site of the boys' Mudecas tournament for the past 63 years. And whereas the 88th Annual Mudecas Basketball Tournament will be played January 9th, 2017 through January 14th, 2017 in Beatrice. Now, therefore, I, Stan Worth, Mayor of the City of Beatrice, do congratulate the Mudecas Association on their 88 years of hosting the Mudecas Basketball Tournament. Witness my hand and official seal of the City of Beatrice this third day of January 2017. And with us tonight, pleased to introduce to you the President of the Mudecas Association, Rick Kentfield, who is also the Superintendent of Lewiston Schools, who I'd like to present this plaque to.
On behalf of the Mudecas Association, I'd like to thank the Beatrice City Council and the City of Beatrice for this long-standing partnership we have nurtured for lots of years. Without this partnership, we wouldn't be able to have two fantastic tournaments every year, which many of our young men and women create memories that truly last them a lifetime. Thank you very much, and appreciate it.
Thank you, Rick. Thanks for coming. I appreciate that. All right. Moving on to the consent agenda. All items under the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or citizen so requests. First item is item A, approve agenda as submitted. Item B, receive and place on file all notices pertaining to this meeting. Item C, receive and place on file all materials having any bearing on this meeting. Item D, approval of minutes of regular meeting on December 19th, 2016 as on file in the City Clerk's office. Item E, approval of Treasurer's Report of Claims. E1, approval of Gage Area Growth Engage claim in the amount of $32,782.12. Item E2, approval of Main Street Beatrice claim in the amount of $338.13. E3, approval of balance of Treasurer's Report of Claims in the amount of $163,737.23. Item F, approval of Boswell Report of Claims in the amount of $789,768.65. And item G, resolution number 6003, identifying Gregory A. Butcher as the CDBG administrator and designated employee of the administration of the Downtown Revitalization Grant awarded to the City of Beatrice, referred to as the Community Development Block Grant Contract Number 15-DTR-109. Is there any item any member wants removed from the consent agenda? Rick?
Mayor, I will abstain from E2.
Okay, Rick abstains from E2, so noted. Bob?
I'll abstain from E1.
And Bob will abstain from E1. All right, Mr. Party?
I make a motion that the items listed on the consent agenda be approved, accepted, ratified as presented.
Second.
Been moved by Party, seconded by Bilsbach, that items under the consent agenda be approved. Your vote, please. And that is approved 7-0. Next item on the agenda is a public hearing to consider declaring an area to be blighted, substandard and blighted, and adoption of the redevelopment plan for redevelopment area number 7.
This is redevelopment area number 7. We had hired Hannah Keelan to conduct this study. This area consists mostly up around the Hannibal Park area, Hannibal Park, Hannibal View, and then comes back down through, I think, Fitzwater's property, and then comes out on Highway 136 there between Sack Lumber and Schultz and Associates, kind of that area. Again, redevelopment areas are what you need in order to have TIF financing be available for projects in those areas. So that's, this study has been done. You approve it tonight. We'll move forward and have TIF financing available on projects in these areas from this point forward. I believe Planning and Zoning CRA has reviewed this. Who's all reviewed it? Greg?
This item was reviewed by the Planning and Zoning Commission and moved on to this body with a recommended approval of both the blight and substandard study and the redevelopment plan. And the Community Redevelopment Authority, otherwise known as the CRA, also approved and recommended approval of both of these items.
Comments? Rich?
Just to refresh my memory, Toby, we don't have any projects going on there right now. If we go ahead and put this under the TIF funding, how long can that go out before we have to review it, years-wise? How long can it stay under the TIF funding? I just can't remember.
You're probably looking at about 10 years before you have to
10.
go back and maybe look at renewing it. Your first area that you considered you had a redevelopment area was back in the late 90s.
90s, yeah.
And so really about 10 years is where, if you're going to do some grants, stuff like that, they're going to see them renewed. Otherwise, I don't know there's a statutory limit on how long it is if you just want to do a TIF project there. But as the area changes and develops, you'll want to go back and revisit it, make sure something else doesn't need to be added or taken out.
Anybody else? Anybody from the public? All right, I'd entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion that the public hearing be closed at 7:08 p.m.
Second.
Moved by Party, seconded by Cook, that the public hearing be closed at 7:08 p.m. Your vote, please. That is approved 7-0. Next item is item 4, resolution number 6004, declaring the proposed redevelopment area number 7 as blighted and substandard.
Make a motion that resolution number 6004 be passed and adopted.
Second.
Moved by Party, seconded by Claybaugh, that resolution number 6004 be passed and adopted. Any further discussion?
Guys okay with it then?
Anybody from the public? Okay, and your vote, please. And that is approved 7-0. You are the public. Resolution number 6004 has been passed and adopted. Resolution number 6005 to approve redevelopment plan for redevelopment area number 7.
Make a motion that resolution number 6005 be passed and adopted.
Second.
Moved by Party, seconded by Cook. Resolution number 6005 be passed and adopted. Any further discussion from anyone? And your vote, please. And that is approved 7-0. Resolution number 6005 has been approved. Next item is item C, resolution number 6006, executing the loan extension agreement and promissory note between the City of Beatrice and Dempster's LLC for the extension of a direct loan in the amount of $225,000 under the City of Beatrice LB 840 Fund for Economic Development and to execute all necessary documents.
Make a motion that resolution number 6006 be passed and adopted.
Second.
Been moved by Party, seconded by Bilsbach, that resolution number 6006 be passed and adopted. Tobias?
If you'll recall, back in September 2015, this body approved a loan agreement with Dempster's for $225,000, gave them a 1-year time period to repay that loan. That time period came and went. Mr. Mitchell came in and asked for an extension. So what you see before you is an extension of that loan agreement for an additional 6-month term. Still at 3%. Security remains the same. He did pay $25,000. Most of that went towards interest. But other than that, all the terms in it are the same as they were beforehand.
Questions? Rich?
So March, April, May? May,
Term
it's,
ends on May 1st.
huh?
On
May 1st.
It ends on May 1st.
And
2017.
the entire amount is due,
Yep, with interest.
plus interest.
Yep.
And we have that on a contract.
Yep, that's
That's
what's
part of the
before you and
extension
signed by Mr. Mitchell here.
Okay.
Bob?
No, that was my question, was when the 6-month period started, was it back in September or was it tonight? So that cleared it up.
Okay.
Thank you.
So he has
Dwight?
paid nothing on the principal yet?
A portion of it, I couldn't give you the exact number amount, but I think the interest quantified out somewhere between 11 and 13,000, and then the balance of it went, so another 11 to $12,000 went to principal. So
Any other comments? And your vote, please. That is approved 7-0. Resolution number 6006 has been approved. Next item is an ordinance to amend sections 7-316, 7-318, 7-322, and 7-323 of the City of Beatrice Code regarding demolition structures.
Make a motion that said ordinance be given number 17-001, the title thereof be approved, the rules be suspended, and said ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight.
Second.
Moved by Party, seconded by Morgan, that the ordinance be given number 17-001, the title approved and rules suspended. The ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight. A motion to suspend the rules is not debatable. Your vote, please. That is approved 7-0. Ordinance number 17-001 by number the first time. Ordinance number 17-001 by number the second time. And ordinance number 17-001 by number the third and final time.
Make a motion that ordinance number 17-001 be passed and approved.
Second.
Moved by Party, seconded by Billsbach, that ordinance number 17-001 be passed and approved. Mr. Templemeyer?
Just a couple of changes to city code. Rob Merrill, our Chief Building Inspector, is here to answer any questions you might have. You'll note on page 59 and 60, I think are probably the best places to see those changes. In the first one, in 316, previously, to tear down any accessory structure, there was no permit required, no demolition permit. The change that we have proposed to you would require anything over 20 square feet would require a building or demolition permit. That's the same number that's required if you want to build something over 20 square feet, you have to get a building permit. This would require anything over 20 square feet would require a demolition permit. In 318, previously the Board of Public Works could establish some requirements when disconnecting utilities. We changed that and made it the city engineer. He's the one we turn and ask to when we want to disconnect utilities. Most likely it's sanitary sewer, where exactly to cap the sewer line off. James is the one who makes the call. We just finally call him out and put his name in here and let him be the one who makes that decision. In 322, again, we just state that when you're done demolishing the place, you plant it back to grass. You try to make it back to some type of, natural vegetation, which most people do now anyhow. And so it's just clarifying what's required. And 323 clarifies again that you can't demolish a structure on site and essentially bury the contents of it. Our current code, there's a provision there, but you can't have a private landfill and all this other stuff. We just made it clear in here that if you demolish a building, you have to haul off all the rubbish to a licensed landfill.
Phil?
Isn't 20 square feet awful small? 5 by 4?
Doghouse.
Yeah. So if I want to tear down my playground in the backyard, which has a little cubicle on top, I'm going to have to get a,
Also need a building permit to put it up too.
well, we did that. Yeah. I just thought,
Rob?
100 square feet.
Building
maybe.
inspector, City of Beatrice. We put it in there for a couple of reasons. One is you do have to have a 20 square foot to build something. one of the problems we were running into was when we were ordering demos on accessory structures is that one wasn't required at all. And so we're having kind of a conflict as to when we send out these letters, say, well, some are require permits, some don't require permits. And somebody calls up and says, okay, I'm gonna demo, but do I need a permit? Well, the answer is no, I don't need a permit to do my garage. But then how do we determine where the 90 days starts and stops when we tell them? And they don't really even have to have 90 days because they don't need a permit. This is kind of helping us enforce some demo codes.
Does that answer your question, Phil?
Okay. I just think that table would be 20 square foot. I'm just,
And my understanding is when it comes to the building permit side where 20 square foot was required, in most jurisdictions it is 200 square feet that requires a building permit. I think there was something in the past that there was an individual that was trying to build some type of structures that were under the 200 square foot without a permit, and somewhere along the lines the body decided that it was 20 square foot was the number. Predates me.
Ted?
Garden sheds.
So you can get a permit to demo all structures at a given address or a given locale. You don't have, that's not what this doesn't split that up, does it?
No, I guess I didn't really address that. I would say that one permit would be fine for multiple structures on one address.
Okay. Just for clarification, I just, didn't have to get a separate permit to demo the house, demo the shed, demo the lean-to, demo the kids' playground structure. You don't need three. It's
One permit would suffice on that, and we would make those notations in that permit.
Do keep in mind, demo prints are $5.
I got that.
I mean-
But if I'm gonna, we want to
Right.
expedite the demolition process for structures, and I don't want to slow it down by $15 if they.
No, we don't either. The other reason we want demo permits is some garages have utilities hooked up to them. Most of them be electricity. We want to make sure those are disconnected before somebody tears them down. We tried doing it the other way, and it doesn't always work so well. And so there's another reason why you want to make sure that you do have demolition permits.
No, I get all the reasoning. I just wanted to make sure that we're not adding any hurdles to the process, is all.
That's not the intent.
Phil?
will the demo permits be online? We can just,
We are working towards that. We have actually got all of our permits electronic right now. We got away from the pen and paper for the most part. Our next step with our permitting software is to try to get them online. I can't say that's going to be done in the next 3 months or 6 months or a year, but that's our next step.
as long as we're working on it, that'd be great. So when we want a demo permit, we just pay the $5 online, be done with it.
Anybody else? All right. Your vote, please. And that is approved. Thanks, Rob. That's approved 7-0. Ordinance number 17-001 has been approved. Next item on the agenda is public forum. Purpose of the public forum is for the presentation of an item by the general public to the city council for consideration at a later date. No discussion or action will be taken by the city council at this time. Ted, I think you had something for the public forum?
The traffic committee and the structure of, that reports to us, and the ambulance department.
What was the last one, Ted?
Ambulance department.
Oh, ambulance.
Yeah. You and I have spoke about this.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
We just didn't hear you.
Okay.
All right. Take that under consideration. Next item on the agenda is an executive session, but before I go into executive session, just want to let everybody know that on January 16th, 2017, we have, excuse me, we'll have another city council meeting on our regular Monday, and then a work session on January 23rd. With that, I would entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I make a motion that Beatrice City Council go into closed session at 7:20 PM for the protection of public interest and to discuss real estate.
Second.
Moved by Party, seconded by Billsbach, that we go into executive session